What's going on, internet? So today, first things first, actually I gotta ask you guys a question. I've been really contemplating thinking about taking my 906B alphas, aka the black wheels on the Gen 1, and swapping them over to the Gen 2. I think I do this all the time. I kind of get bored and then I just want to change things up. So I kind of want to switch the 906B alphas over to the Gen 2. I kind of miss the white on black Raptor setup. I need your guys' opinion. Should I swap them for a bit? Worst case, I swap them back. But I've been thinking about upgrading the taillights on the Gen 1 Raptor. But let's be real, most of what's out there just ain't it. Now, the factory taillights on the Gen 1 Raptor aren't that bad. Like, they don't really drive me that crazy, but a part of me just wants LED taillights. So I went down the rabbit hole of looking through eBay, Amazon, the forums, and there's just so many different taillights. You could definitely choose the wrong ones and just destroy the look of your truck. And let's just go through a few of these taillights that you can get for the 09 to 14 platform. We'll get onto eBay. I did a search, 2014 F-150 LED taillight. Right off the bat, you can see here's like a little combo set. Not really feeling those headlights whatsoever. LED tube taillight. That right there just looks not clean at all. I don't like all that black. Cross design, 70, 80 bucks. The next one up is the Windjet taillights. Let's open this. Smoked LED sequential taillights. This brand is actually kind of popular in the Gen 1 community. They're not a bad looking taillight, I will give them that. It's not horrendous. Problem is, and I've had this, so back when I had a 12th gen F-150, and I had a certain brand of taillights, of aftermarket ones, and this was like a really popular brand company. They're expensive taillights. I would get people say I'm driving in the right-hand lane and somebody comes up on the left-hand side. I'm more impressed that people would stop me as much as they did, because all the time they'd be like, hey, your passenger side taillight's out. And I'd be like, oh, thank you so much. Now this happened like at least 5 times. And then I would go home, check it. I would like set up my phone, record it. And that's exactly what happens with these Windjet taillights. And they may have updated them, but I'm not 100% sure on that, is they have issues with the brightness level. So just be aware of that. And then we've got these, and I've seen these a while back on the forum. These are 409 bucks. This right here looks like the F-150 Lightning taillights. And then you got to do this bar that goes across the tailgate. I'm not 100% sure if you can run it without this. I don't know if like this whole combo needs it. You might be able to just run the taillights. I would not run this. I don't like that whatsoever, that crossbar across your tailgate. I will say on this Limited, they're not bad. I think it works. But on the Raptor, no. Do not do that. Do not put those taillights on your Raptor. You can if you want, but I'm just telling you right now, the Limited it works, the Raptor it doesn't. 409 bucks, no way. We got another set of lights, Rocks Off-Road. That's basically the exact same thing as Windjet. I'm sure that these taillights are just produced somewhere and somebody stuck a name on them. So somebody stuck Rocks on this one, somebody stuck Windjet on the other one. So these are basically the exact same thing as Windjet. Another pair of Windjets. Let's go down. This taillight here, it actually don't look too bad. They've got like the LED ring around it, 132 bucks. But again, it's one of those things where you get what you pay for. The cheaper the taillight, you know, you might have issues with the resistors, you might have issues with brightness, you might even have issues with the seal on it, and then they get moisture in there. Even my expensive other taillights I had on my 12th gen, they ended up leaking over time. Here's another blacked out pair for $67.91. I could probably just tell you what kind of quality you're gonna get for that. Here's another set from Rocks Auto, which is the same as Windjet. These are gonna be the red version. And I've seen some people run these on their trucks. The only issue I have with these is it's just too much red. They need to just darken it up a little bit, whether it be on the edges or maybe this interior piece needs tinted. It's just too much red. Now look at these black LED tube taillights. Those just look horrendous. Those probably have a 40% chance of melting. Black smoke LED tube taillights, 165 bucks. I will say honestly, probably so far, these might look the cleanest that I've seen for an eBay cheap taillight. Problem is the quality. You're probably gonna wanna make sure you seal them. You don't know if you're gonna have resistor issues down the road, but I will give them that. That's not a horrendous taillight. We're just gonna keep scrolling through, but you can see like those right there. No, nope. What are these? Pickup G2 black LED tube taillights. I bet you the instructions are written in wingdings. So we picked up the Morimoto XBs. Now, if I was gonna do any taillight on the Gen 1, or if I had a 12th gen F-150, it would be these. There's no other taillight on the market right now that looks better than these XBs. Fight me. Just right off the bat, you can just tell that these just feel quality. full LED array of lights. What I really like is how this is the LED DRL, which is the daytime running light. I think this looks super sick. A lot of the cheaper knockoff taillights, they don't even come with a reverse bulb. You have to put your own in, and then you have to make sure you get an LED one. The other thing that I really like about these is the red with kind of like the smoked black look on the outside. I just think that this is the super cleanest taillight you can get. So 2 things you're going to need: an 8mm socket and about 10 minutes of common sense. Okay, the moment you guys have been waiting for, let's get this one installed. But let's talk value. Yeah, they're not cheap, but it's better than replacing sketchy eBay lights once a year. This is a buy once, cry once. And then you have a whole newer look and feel to your truck. Do they throw a code? Nope. Built-in resistors. Hyperflash? Nope. Plug and play? 100%. Work with aftermarket bumpers? Yes. Unless you have something weird. Are they bright? I threw it in reverse and my neighbors thought the sun came out. Just from the side angle alone, what I really love about these taillights is the contrast from the red to the basically where it goes smoke to like a black on the ring. The LED DRL, that is completely dialed. Love that. I know a lot of people like to complain about is the bulge on these because of the technology that they had. They had to develop them where they kind of stick out a little. They kind of protrude out just a little bit. Now I'm going to tell you, I had these, but the black ones on my 12th Gen F-150. And I still loved them. And the reason why I think they worked even on the 12th Gen F-150 is because I had a negative offset wheel. This works really easy on the Raptor just because the Raptor's wider. But even on just a regular F-150, if you kind of got just a little offset wheel, I think it just helps with these. But on the Gen 1 Raptors, these work 100%. And I think that's kind of the biggest issue that I've heard people complain about is how they stick out. Now keep in mind, I love these. Those sticking out doesn't bother me at all. And I can just tell you guys that I would hate to go back to the factory taillight. Those are like dingy, like the outside perimeter edge, the like clear part of it, it's kind of dingy. And the other thing too, on my Gen 2 Raptor, those taillights actually kind of protrude a little bit, but nobody talks about that. They stick out a little bit, but because it came with the Raptor factory, we're all just kind of used to it. So I'm super pumped with the way these taillights came out. I was reading the forums and I was getting a little discouraged. 110% happy that I went with these. If you guys see me around town, I bet you don't say, oh, look at the bulge on those taillights. You're gonna be like, dude, that thing looks badass. Buy them, don't buy them, I don't care. But I'm gonna rock these as long as I have this truck. So we timed that just perfectly because as I was filming the last little outro scene, I could see it just downpouring up on the interstate, so I hurried up and took off. But I just wanted to update you guys on the Morimoto XBs. If you guys have been on the fence, literally just climb that fence, jump that fence, do whatever you have to, because I'm telling you, they look sick. If you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, things of that nature, you know what to do. And yeah, we'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.